Hey, LCC friends and family, Lead Minister Brandon Bogue here with another Midweek Moment. Suppose that I told you there's a buzzword within the church that we think we know, that we think we understand what it means and everything, but we actually tend to get it confused with something else. Chances are better than good that you are aware of the word compassion. It's spoken about from the pulpit. It is studied in Bible studies. It is something that is all over the place when it comes to our gatherings. But I think we tend to get the word compassion confused with something else entirely. Notice how I said the word we, because I'm guilty of this as well. A few years ago, I went grocery shopping and I had the girls with me. They were about 6 years old at the time, and we had finished our shopping and we were making our way out of the parking lot. We were just about to turn on the road. But over there at the entrance of the grocery store, there was a family, an entire family, and they were holding out a sign proclaiming that they had a need. And based off of the way that they looked that day, it seemed that the need was genuine. I felt bad for this family. I even said a quick prayer for this family, praying that God would provide for their need in that moment. I thought that was enough, but I didn't do anything to actually address the need. Robin from the back seat of the car, after we passed that family, said, "I hope somebody helps those people." And then she paused for a moment and said, "Why didn't we give them anything, Daddy?" Oof. You might be saying, well, maybe you didn't have a chance to help them. But I did. There was a bank across the street. That bank had an ATM. I could have pulled out some money and I could have helped them along. Even if you feel uncomfortable with the notion of just giving random people money, there was an Arby's next to the bank. I could have run through there and gotten them some sandwiches or something like that to just give them some food. I could have even just gotten into the back and grabbed some of the groceries that we had just purchased and handed them to them, because my family and I, we always seem to have a need. I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't look like I've missed very many meals in my life. But I didn't do any of that stuff. The thing is I had sympathy for the family. Robin had compassion. I saw the need. I felt bad for them, but I didn't do anything to address the need. Meanwhile, my 6-year-old saw the need, felt bad for them, and would have gladly done something for them if it weren't for her father. Oftentimes in the church, we get sympathy confused with compassion. But James shows us that there's a difference between those two different things, and he tells us that we need to be people of compassion in James chapter 2, verses 15 and 16. It says, "If a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking in daily food, and one of you says to them, 'Go in peace, be warmed and well fed,' without giving them the things needed for the body, what good is that?" The reality is that compassion is meant to be a word of actions. Sympathy is something that we feel. Compassion leads us to do something about it. It's not hard to see pain and need in those around us. We see that almost every single day. The question is will we do anything about it when we see people in need? I don't know about you, but whenever I read through the Gospels, I don't see Jesus come across somebody who's dealing with a painful situation or going through a difficult patch in life and him just say, "Oh, I feel bad," and then move on. Instead, every time Jesus encountered somebody who had a need, someone who had a pain going on in their life of some kind, he would intervene. He would step in and he would do whatever he could to handle those situations, to help those people along, to make their situation even just a little bit better. As Christians, we are meant to be like Jesus, which means that we need to step in and help wherever we can. So let's make compassion more than just a buzzword. Let's make it a part of who we are. This is the last week for our first book of the month. And again, for this month of February, we've been recommending Messy Spirituality by Mike Yaconelli. If you've read it, I hope that you were blessed by it. In fact, I'm pretty confident you probably were. But if you haven't read it, again, it is not a long book whatsoever, and I think it is certainly worth your time. Messy Spirituality by Mike Yaconelli is a fantastic book. I hope you've been enjoying the book of the month for this month, and I'm hoping you've enjoyed the whole concept of a book of the month. Let me know, and I'll keep recommending books as we go. This has been your Midweek Moment. Take care of yourselves and each other.